Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, and welcome to the Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know I'm here to do. I'm here to join me as always, like Xavier Guerrero, and on the ones, twos, Jay Nice, Juicy Johnny Woodard, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. That's right. Go to SamTripoli.gold. Use the promo code Tinfoil. If you have them, use the promo code Tinfoil, and you can get precious metals sent to your house for as little as $50 a month. Just go to SamTripoli.com. Go to the events, and you can get tickets to my upcoming shows. Going to be Skankfest at the end of the month. Then I got Louisville, Kentucky on the 11th and 12th of October. Let's pack that out. Then Tampa Bay in December, and then Jiu-Jitsu Overdose in Cancun, guys. So let's get into the show.
Drink.
All right, we have some returning champions here to the show. He's been on the show numerous times. He's part of the Union of the Unwanted. He has a podcast called Macroaggressions. Please welcome back Charlie Robinson. How are you?
Fantastic, Sam. Thanks for having me.
And
good to see you.
Always a pleasure. You look great. I mean, You're just a stunning human being. What's your weight down to now?
It's pretty lean. It's stress related these days. Sammy.
Okay, yeah. I respect that. I respect that. Yeah. And he's back again. I believe his podcast is called the Daily Mana Podcast. I probably got that wrong, but he killed it so hard last time. We have him back again. Please welcome to the show, Brandon Kroll. How are you, buddy?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me back on, man.
And you just told me your podcast, and then it got lost in the abyss that's called my brain. What's the name of your podcast again?
Mana Daily Podcast.
Okay, I flipped it. I was in the neighborhood. I was adjacent.
It's all good.
So real quick, yesterday was 9/11, so happy belated 9/11 to everybody here. Happy belated 9/11.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I hope you guys remember where you are. It's so much fun to watch. I have this feeling that because of October 7th, that this is the most honest conversation about 9/11 I think has ever had on the internet. I've never seen it more honest. Your thoughts on that, Charlie?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The idea that Israel was protected forever and now the gloves are off and everyone that used to be hesitant to talk about them publicly or on social media. It seems like that has gone away. And when that goes away and people are feeling emboldened to get honest about the role of Israel in United States foreign policy, it's going to lead you to 9/11. It's going to lead you to the USS Liberty. It's going to lead you to some very disturbing things that people were never able to talk about publicly until now. And now the normies out there are kind of waking up to the reality of the situation and how much control Israel has over the narratives in the United States. They're starting to ask some follow-up questions. Like if I have questions about October 7th, what about this 9/11 stuff that I hear? I'm hearing about dancing Israelis. What's that all about? And it's like, okay, well, like any good rabbit hole, something wakes you up recently. And then that starts you asking questions about if this was a lie, what else was a lie? And that leads you to the next lie and the one after that. So I think that you're right, Sam. This is a time when a lot of people are going to have a conversation about 9/11 that now finally includes one of the main co-conspirators in it, which is the state of Israel.
It is crazy. I mean, you got Candace Owens getting ran off of YouTube, and it's just like, you know, and again, when we're talking to the Brandon, like it goes even deeper than this. And it leads even past like the thought of Israel. And it just gets deep into these mystics, these Kabbalic Jewish mystics, which, you know, is even deeper. So it's like such a crazy time to be here. You know, you just watched this whole thing with Candace Owens. She just put a video about even back in 2001, the Israelis had a instant messenger, and they warned people to get out of Israelis to get out of the building 2 hours before. It's like crazy to me. So where do you want to start, Brandon? Where would you like to start? I know you did part 1 before, and we wanted to bring on Charlie for part 2. So where do you want to start?
So I'm going to kick off right where we left off, explaining that the Baphomet tattoo here, that Salve, it means to spring something into existence. This was the coronation of their Messiah. The other half of that is coagula on Baphomet's arm, which is blood clot. So what I'm going to try to tie up today is, what is the pentagram, the pineal gland, the all-seeing eye? What does that have to come to fruition? Like, what's going to be the end game for all of this? As I explained before, the Church of Scientology was founded to bring about an archetypical Antichrist figure, and that was founded by L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons. They had something to do with that. I just want to throw in, like you were just saying, the mystical occults. This is from Trump's own book. Now, some people are getting upset. I was reading some of the comments the other day. I was like, wow. But this is him. And again, it's never an ethnicity I go after. It's an ideology.
Yes.
This ideology happens to go across borders. That's the thing we don't like. Just like you don't like Nazis, let's talk about the other thing then. How come all of a sudden history is anti-Semitic?
It's like so crazy to me.
But it says here, if you go down page 188, folks want to look this up, way to the top of the book. It says, on one day, my Kabbalah teacher, Eaton Yardini happens also to be, what's her name, Madonna's teacher. And he has stuff to deal with the Zohar. And the Zohar is a collection of commentaries that define the Kabbalah, a Jewish, and again, I'm saying you as in yew tree worship, YEW, Hermetic Kabbalah Tree of Life. You guys can dig into other episodes I've done on this. And the Zohar goes into great depth describing how many stars and which colors they will be. So they do a lot of this stuff. They coordinate it by the stars. They coordinate it by the constellations. Biblically speaking, this is something that's condemned in the Bible. But this is what Christ was condemning, saying you guys are doing the traditions, Kabbalah, of your family, of your fathers. And that was something that was being condemned in the Bible. What I found interesting, you know the little mattress company that has those little sheep?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Note anything here on this little advertising?
Man.
Uh-huh. 2 pillars, just like in Freemasonry. Towers, like I said, emerald tablets.
Oh, man.
And the numbers are 9 and 11. And Yahoo, 6 years prior, he says, I think people need to understand. I wrote a book, it was about 6 years before 9/11, and it was talking about people need to learn about the radicalness of militant Islam. And Trump writes something similar even before, is that I'm really convinced we're in danger of a sort of terrorist attacks that will make the 1993 bombing of the trade centers look like kids playing with firecrackers. One day we're told a shadowy figure with no fixed address named Osama bin Laden is public enemy number 1. This is back in 93.
Oh my God.
Well, that's a time traveler.
No, that's not time.
Okay.
That's just like, they've been playing this shit forever.
Yes. And it's been in the works. Like I said, it had to have been a coronation because all the symbolism there for me is going, you guys had this plan for years. Like I said, the construction, I just found this out today. Did you know the construction of the Pentagon started on September 9/11?
Yes.
And then this was started in 68. 33 years later, exactly, the towers come crumbling down.
Hold on. They started to build the Twin Towers on 9/11 in 68? Wow.
I think it was 60. It was right off the end of the 7-Day War. And they even had a medal to commemorate that. You'll see it. It's a scroll. It's like a French-Israeli medal for the 7-Day War. And it's a scroll that looks like 2 towers of the plane flying straight towards the scroll. That looks like 2 towers.
That was that symbolized the 7-Day War or the building of the 9/11 or the Twin
It
Towers?
was right on the tail end of the 7-Day War, so it makes you kind of wonder if all of this stuff is just interconnected.
Oh my!
As most of it usually is.
It totally is, dude.
But this article also ends with admitting that America, Edom, Esau, is seen as the new Rome. Remember what I said before, that Maryland, named after the Vatican Church, Virgin Mary? Oh, yeah, it was actually known as Rome, which is exactly what Bibi Netanyahu called America, and 9/11 was an event that was necessary to hasten the coming of the Mashiach, a.k.a. their Messiah figure, that guy that comes up from the abyss like I've shown you on the Kabbalah tree. Sounds very similar to Apollyon. Another name for it is Abaddon. Abaddon?
Abaddon.
What verse is it? Revelation 9/11. Kind of strange. But maybe New York City is seen as a modern-day Rome. The comparison has been made before, and maybe the 3 towers that fell were just 3 walls mentioned in the Zohar. And just maybe, if indeed we are entering the time period our rabbis of the past believed in, the days of the Mashiach, we should be readying ourselves to the best of our ability, and that is Netanyahu.
I mean, right there is like, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all just like, oh, you know, what did that? Bam, it's right there. It says it right there. The buildings are the towers. Unbelievable. And we're just like, oh, how they get these Middle Easterns. They're so crazy. Charlie, if you want to jump in at any time, feel free.
But I found something interesting, like I've done before with Mithra. I'm going to be showing it towards the end. But Mithra followers used to wear red caps. MAGA is the highest priest position on the Church of Satan website. It's also the high priest of the sun in Sanskrit. And in the Bible, we have Revelation 17:5, and upon her head was written the name Mystery Babylon the Great. I don't know what America is, said John the Apostle on Patmos, but I'll put it as mystery because somebody will figure it out. Babylon, again, what do they want? The Babylon, again, that's the Statue of Liberty. That's another variant, Helios, Mithra, Sol Invictus, if you want to go there.
See, this is where I start to get into, again, why I get so much shit from the Jew World Order people, right? That, like, it is so beyond, like, than what they like. It's like, to me, this is even higher than the Abrahamic religions. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism, right? So that fits in there. But it's like the way people, I just think it's way beyond what everyone believes. Look at this dude doing the finger. It's like crazy to me.
And it's 666. 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons. Ooh. Man merging with machine. Ultimately, I think you can find it on scientists.com or whatever. It's some kind of science thing. They want to use humans as antennas by 2030. And I saw in a Freemasonry thing, it says, "You ready for the future, brother?" While they're showing metallic robot guys wearing the apron. I was going, what future are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't want to become a machine, man. But it's foretold in Daniel 2. That
Hold on. The guy next to Johnny Depp is who?
Left or right?
Right.
Right. Is that Corey Feldman? Or whatever his name, the two cores.
I can't. Johnny's good with that stuff, but I can't see.
It looks like.
I don't know if I can.
Anyways, go on. It's not a big deal. Keep going.
I find it interesting because, like I said, Sol Invictus, Sol, where we get the root word for soldier, S-O-L for sun god. D-I-E-R means destined to die or one who is to die for the sun god. And this is what the Catholic Church worships. This is counterfeit Christianity, as I've always tried to explain to folks. What was Catholicism created by? Crypto-use. This is where the Jesuits come from. You want a great book on this, Bloody Zion by Edward Hendry. Highly recommend. And that's Constantine. That's a statue of Constantine doing the 666, who's changed Sabbath to Sunday worship.
So you think Sabbath is what, Friday to Saturday?
Yeah, it's supposed to be end of Friday into Saturday, correct.
Crazy.
At least that's what it's supposed to be, but they switched it over into this. Why? Because it's the doppelganger. That's a big sun god cult. Don't take my word for it. This book is about $1,000 if you want to buy it. Freemasonry and Judaism, but we can give a few quotes throughout the years. The transactions of the Jewish Historical Society, the coat of arms used by the Grand Lodge of England, is entirely composed of Jewish symbols. O.B. Good, M.A., and the Hidden Hand of Judah. The influence of the Jewish Sanhedrin is today more powerful than ever in Freemasonry. Rabbi Isaac Wise and the Israelite of America, 1866. Masonry is a Jewish institution whose history, degrees, charges, passwords, and explanations are Jewish from beginning to end. Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Each lodge is and must be a symbol of the Jewish temple, each master in the chair a representative of the Jewish king, and every Mason a personification of a Jewish workman. And finally, in the Jewish Tribune of 1927, Masonry is based on Judaism. Eliminate the teachings of Judaism from the Masonic ritual and what is left. And this is Trump doing 666 at a tree that is from the Kabbalah tree of life.
Dude, this is crazy. Is this B'nai B'rith stuff, do you think? Is this what you're talking about? Jewish Freemasonry?
Well, that's the thing. Is a lot of folks are always wondering, why are we sending all these care packages over there? Because Freemasonry is cousins to them. It's the same thing. It's the same freaking thing. And most Americans don't even realize it, like I showed on the American flag. It's a Masonic flag. Every aspect of it. But most Americans don't understand. You just believe in a sovereign being. You're already a first-degree initiate of Freemasonry, a.k.a. the Kabbalah.
Is the Kabbalah connected to the Torah?
No, that's exactly what I'm trying to explain to folks, is that they're bringing in Jewish mysticism into what was already originally in the Torah. Now, these guys believe they're so smart that they tutor God for 1 hour per day. And again, that's another book by Edward Hendry, Solving the Mystery of Babylon the Great. And he explains that all out. He brings citations that they think that they're that smart.
What is the actual? Is the Kabbalist Jewish mystic a Torah Jew?
Some of them are background in Torah, yes, but it's what they dabbled into, and it's not like every single Jew is part of this. It's just like every single American doesn't know exactly what goes higher up. But that's the thing. You're just putting your faith in somebody, and you have no idea what they do behind closed doors or what organizations and secret societies they're part of.
Ain't that the truth?
That's what Thaddeus Stevens, if you saw the movie Lincoln, that particular individual in history was portrayed by Tommy Lee Jones in that movie. He was trying to institute a legislation to ban any secret societies and Freemasonry from having a place within our politics in the United States. And of course, that was turned down.
But how would you ban that, though?
Yeah,
that sounds
how would you know?
impossible.
It's like, are you in a society? No. Oh, okay.
Well, again, that's part of the thing, is that it was purposely, craftily created within the Constitution that, oh yeah, religious liberty, we can't really ban them. Even John Adams was getting upset. He says, I don't like the Jesuits, but we have to let them in because this is what we wrote. So
Yeah.
it's a loophole.
Charlie, any thoughts? Have you got any?
I'm getting an education on this stuff right here.
I
man.
love
This is
it.
out of my
I love it,
wheelhouse,
dude.
so
Welcome.
I'm just sitting back and listening myself.
Jump in
so please
anytime.
continue.
Yeah, I don't want to just do Bush was involved. It's like, as you said, dancing Israel. I just did a 20-slide post. Thank you, Meta, for opening that up for me, because it's always hard when somebody will be asking a question. I'm like, I could add 3 more slides. As I was saying, in Statue of Liberty, this is an equivalent as well of Baphomet. How do you know this? Well, like I said, you look at Baphomet's manhood, it is the Caduceus staff that Hermes carries. That's their messiah figure. That's equivalent of Tammuz. Trump has a variation of this name. I'll explain towards the end. Well, how do I know? How do I know? Look, don't take my word for it. You can go and travel across the ocean if you want. Some people want to say you're just using Google. I'm just showing you. Helios, spiked crown. Attis, spiked crown. Sol Invictus, spiked crown. And now we have this in New York. There's got to be something more here.
Oh my God, the light bearer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And again, that's the same pose, as above, so below, pointing up, pointing down. That's the sign off of the pentagram, which is, this means earth. And when you see them doing like this, that means sun. So when you're seeing the pentagram and the Oceani thing, this was part of the sun god worship ceremony in Ezekiel chapter 8 when they're talking about the sun god Tammuz. And a lot of folks are just skimping over that like, okay, whatever that is. Because he was talking to the prophet, he's giving him this vision, and he's like, they think I don't even see what is going down?
It's so
They think
crazy.
I don't see what's going on in my own temple?
This is so crazy to me.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift as well, right? Wasn't it a gift given to America?
Yeah.
Yes, by and again, the guy who built it also built the Eiffel Tower. You look him up, Freemason. This guy who invented the Olympics or rebooted it, Freemason. And I just did an episode on that, breaking down the Olympics. But it really makes you go, why was it a gift? And I have other stuff where I could do a whole episode just on that. But it really makes you scratch your head going, why did you feel the necessity to give that specifically to America? Just because we're friends? Or is there an occultic double meaning?
I'm going to go occultic double meaning.
Is that your final answer? Is that your final answer?
So,
Brandon, are you sure you're not just pulling this stuff out of your butt? Well,
are you pulling this out of your butt?
No, that would have to be a big butt, I would say. It's a lot of stuff.
But here's the thing. Meta saw so fit when I tried to repost this, because now they're censoring everything. I got kicked off of TikTok, by the way, because apparently trolling Trump supporters sarcastically is not the thing to do. Darn China.
I could have told you that.
If you try to go any deeper than surface level shit now on any of the social media, they're just pounding you right now. Like we did a Union of the Unwanted the other day, and universally everybody's like, yeah, my numbers are down because they're coming out to take us, right? You know, so it's really sad. It's really sad. And it's super sad. I'm like, this is what I like to do, and it's like, of course I have to pick. But, you know, like I got my daddy in me, dude. And like, I'm just gonna go fight the system everywhere I go. It would be so much easier just to be like, what's up with bitches, and just go from there. Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. That's right. If you're paying any attention, you know that the de-dollarization is real. Oh, it's totally real, dude. The U.S. dollar is backed by nothing right now. fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver have been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's right. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all things precious metal. Veteran owned and an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small. You can even roll your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. That's right. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, well, think again. With the Wolfpack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. Just go to SamTripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. And remember, in a world of bulls and bears, it's best to be the wolf. Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at True Classic. Listen, here's the deal, dude. You want to be Assassin's Creed? You need the gear. Look at this, bro. What if I'm on your roof, jumping roof to roof? You know Vigilante is in works, dog. I am keeping the streets safe for the ladies, and I do it through my True Classic gear. That's right. I like to dress good looking, ready to rock. Also, not afraid to sleep anywhere at any time. Look at this. Look at this guy, dude.
That one right there, guys. You want to look like Sam? That's the one.
That's it, dude.
You look exactly the same as that model.
Yeah, just plus 40 pounds, okay? Now just imagine that, plus 40 pounds, moving from roof to roof, cleaning up the streets at night.
I can imagine that guy carrying you from roof to roof. I can imagine that guy carrying you from
True Classic for when you want to look good, but also high kick to the head, dude. That's what I'm all about, dude. Roundhouse kick to your head while looking stylish and hooking up with Weird Will's girl. That's what we're looking to do, okay?
Are you fighting a little person? Is that how you're high kicking to the head?
I'm fighting everybody. Hey, dude, I'm limber, dude. When I realized we started working with True Classic, I said, I got to get in shape and get these hinges rocking, dude. So if you want to go to True Classic and you want to see incredibly good-looking biracial models and incredibly good-looking clothes, go to trueclassic.com. That's trueclassic.com. calm, bro, and you got everything. They got shirts. They got sweat. They got pants. They got pants that are good for kicking and karate chopping.
Oh, and look at that. I like that. They have a bundle builder where when you combine things, you get huge savings.
Yeah, dude. What do you want? You want 33%? Okay, bang. Stop it. Keep going. You can get 44. Go up, dude. You go to 44%. You get 12 items. You get over 50% off. Winner.
That's
Chicken
amazing.
dinner.
Wow.
So listen, guys, I can't recommend True Classic enough. I live by it. I perform in it. I go up on stage at the world famous Comedy Store. I go on the road in this, okay? I sleep in these sometimes.
You boning that?
Dude, all the time. Hardcore. I wear it down and I just yell Assassin's Creed the whole time when I'm just going to Pound Town. That's how it goes. Listen, I recommend True Classic for if you're on a night on the town or you're trying to keep the streets safe. Either one, True Classic is the best gear out there. Johnny, tell them the deal.
Right now, you can unlock big savings when you bundle items site-wide. That's what we were just talking about. Just go to our exclusive link at trueclassic.com/tinfoil to save. That's trueclassic.com/tinfoil. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today.
And I was reading some of those comments. I was like, I don't know how you deal with hecklers, man. Because some people, I'm like, you realize you sound like an NPC. You're not even willing to hear. It's something I've never heard of. At least throw it by me because maybe I'll learn something. Just for the heck of it. But anyways, they deleted this video because they don't want people to know about this. But this was a prayer ceremony that had the all-seeing eye in the wake of 9/11. Let's see if I can. I'm not sure if I got sound, but just to double check, I'm gonna click it if it will pop up. Share sound on computer, and here we go. Let me know if you can hear it.
Did you know that there was a ceremony featuring the all-seeing eye conducted on the live television broadcast for the 1-year anniversary of 9/11?
Is the mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg.
Again today, we are a nation that mourns. Again today,
oh my God!
Take
Look
into
at that!
our hearts and minds those who perished on this site 1 year ago. And also those who came to toil in the rubble to bring order out of chaos.
Oh my!
And those who throughout these 12 months have struggled to help us make sense of our despair. Now we join with our fellow Americans in a minute of silence, led by President George W. Bush from the South Lawn of the White House in Washington.
Wow.
So, like I said, symbol of Tammuz is the eyes. Why are y'all standing around in an eye? Is that significant for some freaking reason?
Wow. And just think about how naive we all were in 2002. Full of trauma. Just want to get back at those freaking desert people.
Dude, we loved George W. Bush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We hated him. Planes, bang,
And then
planes go boom. Now we love them.
That was a mad season, wasn't it? Just a mad season.
Yeah.
It's just something to make you scratch your head and go, there had to have been a reason, because like I just said, Helios, the spiked crown guy, what's he known for? Helios, the journey on his chariot. During the day would travel with a boat in the ocean at night, and likely a reflection of the Egyptian sun god Re, or Ra, sailing across the skies in a bark and through the body of the sky goddess Nut, to be reborn at dawn each morning anew. Both gods were known as the all-seeing in Helios's case, just like Re or Ra, Thoth. Notice the Magician Tarot card here on the tarot, doing the same Statue of Liberty pose.
Whoa.
Dressed like the Jesus they paint for us. White tunic, red sash, and the Ouroboros. So the Magician, this is again Aleister Crowley.
Holy shit. So you're saying the Eye of Re and the Eye of Thoth are just two different eyes?
Yeah, there's two pack, black and white. Just like the right would equal sun related, left would equal moon related. Again, like I said with the Star of Remphan, Star of David, conjoined together. That is the conjoining of the elements. Alchemy knowledge. We have the celestial knowledge to become our own gods. We don't need you, Creator.
Tammuz.
In essence, is what it means.
Tammuz equals Hermes.
The new 9/11 memorial has an eye with an eyelash, very prominent sort of eyelashes that are closing around it. It's pretty obvious.
And it's
Got a
got
good-
black cube, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a nice
I think I
tour
have a
of
visual
that.
on that.
Last year, this time, had dinner with Tony Arterburn and Billy Ray Valentine down there, and Billy Ray gave us a tour, a guided tour at night of 9/11 of the area around it. We walked around all the blocks, and he was telling, came in from this direction. This is where the buildings went down. This is where Building 7 was. This is where so to walk through that and get that perspective on it, it was very important, but also, there's black cubes everywhere around there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just everywhere.
Like we showed them in part 1. Black cubes.
Sam, did you see the towers before they fell? Like, did you ever see them as a kid?
Yeah.
And you've been back?
I haven't been by. I've been to New York
I have.
City since.
I've been there and back.
Maybe I have. I don't remember.
What I'm asking, did they make it better? Like, you would assume they would make the towers better.
No,
like,
I don't know. Do you guys remember? This was a boondoggle for years and years. I mean, they could not figure out what to do at that site for a very long time, and it was only in the end that they settled on this. And I think many people were just disappointed. There was a plan in the beginning to build the tallest building in the world. That was one of the options. They were like, "We're going to build the tallest fucking building anybody's ever seen, motherfucker, America up your ass." And then they decided to do this negative space thing.
I'm surprised they didn't do another Tower of Babel. To be honest with you,
that was the plan. Honestly, it was something like that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, they settled on building a giant syringe. So.
Yeah, so many people were disappointed.
I thought it went down. It goes up.
Well, look, see.
In Templar Masonry, Satan was assigned to the color of the black in the outer sphere. The two inverted cubes in the 9/11 memorial resemble a variation of the black Saturn-Satan cube, where each World Trade Center once stood. Below, angled view of the black cube resembles Freemasonry symbol, the compass and the square.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now, something I find interesting is like X and X. You put a 1 in front of 1X, you get 9. You put a 1 after X, you get 9/11. But double X is Tammuz, and then you want a reborn. You're going to be having somebody like a Nimrod come on the scene. And what's the first things we hit after we did 9/11? It was the mausoleums and the museums where they found that coffin of Gilgamesh or Nimrod. They found 2 individuals, and one of them had a little fish around his belly area, which is ironic, because Baron Trump was born in the month of March, Pisces. I found that interesting.
What are you saying?
Well, I think that what they want to create the Ouroboros logo, you got to have Nimrod to come back, or you need to have Tammuz, and then to go back into Nimrod, because they believe Nimrod was reborn into his son. Tammuz, that's what Christmas tree all connects into. Yew tree. Regeneration, reincarnation. So in order to reverse this, to go full Ouroboros, you need to have Tammuz and then go back into Nimrod. So that way the snake completes itself. Ironically enough, in 2028, Baron's going to be exactly 25 years old. And that is a year of Jubilee. So I kind of wonder.
Yeah, I mean, what year? 2028?
2028. And when you're looking up the next couple of years in images, granted some of them are movies, but they had Jesus and Satan arm wrestling in the year of 2028.
Well, I
do.
do.
2029 of alien invasion.
Charlie, do you think we make it out in 2025?
I mean, it's up for debate for sure.
I mean, like, they have...
Dude, that's what, when I bought those Oasis tickets, everybody was in my mentions like, dude, that's awfully bold of you thinking we're going to survive to
did you
August.
get some in UK?
Yeah, I was online for like 6 hours. I got them in Scotland. Yeah, it took forever, but I got lucky. Yeah.
When is that? When is that planned for?
It's August of next year.
Oh, that's not too
August of 2025?
Yeah. It's pretty deep into the year.
Yeah.
and it seems like if this thing kicks off, it's gonna start in the EU.
I mean, how much faith do we put in the Deagle report? I mean,
did you buy the ticket protection plan?
No. I'm not. After they're already ripping me off, no way.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, why are you gonna buy it? You're like, hey, dude, it's Armageddon, but can I get my money back?
Yeah. Unless they're paying me back in gold.
Trouble. But like I said, eyes are the symbol of Tammuz, and this is why they actually cover their eyes. It's known as a Faustian bargain eye. It means I've sold a part of myself so I can be part of this bargain. CBS. You'll note that the top of football stadiums, it looks just like this when they can pull the tarp right over in case it was raining. It looks just like the all-seeing eye.
Oh, you're
Aldous
right.
Huxley,
You're so right. I
Brave
never
New
thought about
World.
that. The football stadium thing.
His
He's
brother
right.
Julian Huxley is the father of transhumanism and had a big role in eugenics.
Yeah, it's a rebranding. So they got into a lot of trouble with the eugenics name because with all the murder and whatnot that's associated with it. So they went through a bit of a marketing crisis, and Sir Julian Huxley decided that they would change the name to transhumanism. So when you hear these lunatics at the World Economic Forum talking about the Fourth Industrial Revolution and talking about transhumanism, what you have to understand is that the Huxleys renamed eugenics transhumanism. So when in actuality, what they are talking about, the sales pitch is for depopulation.
But it sounds cooler.
It sounds way more tech savvy. It sounds futuristic. It sounds kind of cool. Like, hey, I'm going to lose an arm in a car accident, but I'm going to get a robotic arm. And and that's the sales pitch, is that transhumanism is we're going to make you the $6 million man. In actuality, they're just going to turn your brain off whenever they want to.
So crazy, dude. And everyone's like, "Is that awesome? It's so great." And they just don't care. They just do what they got us so down. They know how to get us angry at nothing. We were just talking about the tree kill incident. It's like that is the perfect thing for the stupid to get angry about.
You see exactly what you want in that footage, man.
Yeah. You're like, he wasn't doing anything. Well, he wasn't listening. And did they go over the top with what they did? Yeah, perfect non-linear warfare video for everybody. Perfect. And then he scores an 80-yard touchdown, makes a joke about it, and still people are like, "We gotta fire these, but this is what's going on with America." I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Non-linear warfare. You just fell for it.
Yep. So, remember when I was reading the Emerald Tablets?
Yeah.
One of the big things is they can change things from the elements of this world and turn it into gold. Hermes, god of trade, World Trade Centers fell. He is alleged to be the guy, Hermes is the guy who originated coinage.
Oh, God.
Which I tend to believe. Now I'm hearing a phrase in this ad that was released by the Trump campaign for 2024, and I'm hearing a few phrases both biblically and both with the Emerald Tablets that made me go, So I'll play it.
And on June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, "I need a caretaker." So God gave us Trump.
What?
God said, "I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, fix this country, work all day, fight the Marxists, eat supper, then go to the Oval Office and stay past midnight at a meeting of the heads of state." So God made Trump.
Is this Paul Harvey?
With arms, strong enough to rustle the deep state, and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to ruffle the feathers, tame cantankerous World Economic Forum, come home hungry, have to wait until the First Lady is done with lunch with friends, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon, and mean it. So God gave us Trump. I need somebody who can shape an axe, but wield a sword, who had the courage to step foot in North Korea, who can make money from the tar of the sand, turn liquid to gold, who understands the difference between tariffs and inflation, will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, but then put in another 72 hours. So God made Trump. God had to have somebody willing to go into the den of vipers, call out the fake news for their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. The poison of vipers is on their lips, and yet stop. So God made Trump. God said, "I need somebody who will be strong and courageous, who will not be afraid or terrified of the wolves when they attack. A man who cares for the flock, a shepherd to mankind who won't ever leave nor forsake them. I need the most diligent worker to follow the path and remain strong in faith and know the belief of God and country. Somebody who's willing to drill, bring back manufacturing and American jobs, farm the lands, secure our borders, build our military, fight the system all day, and finish a hard week's work by attending church on Sunday." And then his oldest son turns and says, "Dad, let's make America great again. Dad, let's build back a country to be the envy of the world again."
Wait, so now is that AI? Because that sounds a lot like Paul Harvey's. Paul Harvey has.
I think they use Paul Harvey as the AI voiceover.
Okay, because it sounds a lot like God made a
Halloween.
farmer. Have you ever heard that thing?
Yes.
And so God
Yes.
made a farmer.
That's exactly what it's supposed
But
to be.
you're
parodied.
telling me that Trump put this out?
Paula White King, his spiritual advisor, the lady that was praying over him.
Oh my
interesting.
goodness!
Oh
dude.
boy.
On his like his
It's a bit
website.
much.
Who's got ties to what's his freaking name?
Satan.
That evangelist guy, the fake healer, Benny Hinn.
Oh,
wow,
Jesus
he's
Christ.
as bad as it gets.
He had a fling with this guy, and he has connections with the Vatican being in charge of some of the artifacts. And I'm over here like in charge of the hidden artifacts that you never show the rest of the world.
He's a
like
snake,
the Smithsonian
Benny
too.
My favorite thing is they're doing prayers while a chick is in leopard skin. Like,
Yeah.
that seems way far from God.
When are they going to bring out Bishop Don Magic Wand as a spiritual advisor? Because I'd be interested in hearing that. I'd be watching that video.
My favorite is like he works a 72-hour week by Tuesday. Are you the world's most interesting man? That's literally what that sounded like. The world's most interesting man.
Yeah.
By Tuesday, that's only 48.
Yeah.
Listen, don't question him. He knows what he's doing.
No, because it starts on Sunday.
Well, for him, it starts whenever he says
technically.
Yeah.
If you're going by the rules. Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at Fume. Listen, Fume is the innovative, award-winning flavored air device. Let me tell you about Fume. You know it. Listen, have you heard that flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by our sponsor, Fume. Dude, we love Fume. Look at that website. It's so pretty. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. I like that. Fume has lots of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint or orange vanilla. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, no vapor, no combustion. Thank you, dude. Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, okay? Fume is backed by doctors in the U.S., all right? We love orange vanilla all day, every day, okay? Orange vanilla all day, every day, dude.
That one right there, right?
Well, look at that, bro.
Oh.
That is a party in my mouth and everybody's coming. You know it, okay? Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use tinfoil to get a free gift with your journey pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfume.com and use the code tinfoil or scan the QR code on screen, okay, to get a free gift with your order today, okay? Bang, bang, pow, guys. I love Fume. You love Fume. Johnny loves Fume. Look at all their 5-star reviews. Fume is the award-winning flavored air device, and we thank them for sponsoring this show.
And I find it interesting because Donald stems from Adonis. Adonis's equivalent is Dumazid, a Sumerian goat shepherd god, similar to Pandemonium, aka Baphomet, and Dumazid's equivalent is Tammuz. Tammuz in the Greek was known as Hermes, and in Rome he was known as Mercury. You trace Mercury back directly to Marduk and Baal. Dawn in Spanish means Lord, and Baal means Lord.
Dude.
Found that all a little interesting because, and then behold a pale horse, and like we just saw the opening of the Olympics, all these covers with Trump riding a white horse, and even his spa and the 666 in the logo with the horse's head.
Oh, what the fuck?
Whoa! Right? It is a white horse.
There's all sixes.
And he went forth conquering and to conquer. He was given a crown. What I tell you at the top of the Hermetic Kabbalah Tree of Life. It's known as Kether in Hebrew, translated into Masonic Latin. Crown. A spiked crown. Like Helios. Like a virus. Like the spiked crown they put in Christ's head, but instead of outward, it was inverted because it was, you're an imposter. You're not the one we're looking for. Damn. Symbolism's there. At least This is what I'm seeing. Everybody's going Obama, Prince Charles. I'm over here like, no. Look at this one. This is the guy that everybody hates him. Because AI generator, when I typed in presidential election results, vice president, 2024, this is what popped up. No Trump's name, nothing. You have a guy riding a horse with 4 horses over the White House, 4 horses of the apocalypse, and a white dragon in the center overseeing them.
So AI is kind of predicting the future, and we're kind of waving though that's 2014.
What did I tell you about AI before? I'm not sure if I said on this particular show, but okay, so in Enoch, it says, when your children are slain, they're talking about the angels are being locked up under the river Euphrates. This is how the angels come out and when Euphrates dries up, which we're less than a foot right now. It says towards the time of the end, your kids are going to be roaming the earth. So when we hear of demon, it's not a fallen angel, it's a slain giant, Nephilim. And this comes from the Greek, D-A-E-M-O-N, or D-A-I-M-O-N, means spirit being. Christ was constantly casting demons out of people. Now here's the thing. The root server for all AI computer generators? Demon, or demon waves. And who gave us the internet? CERN. And internet, place for tomb or corpse, net, to hold or restrain something. So if I'm a fallen angel and I'm being let loose, and my kids don't have bodies, what's the first thing on my agenda checklist to do? I'm going to get my kids some bodies back. So Mark of the Beast, you sign on to become this electronic thing, AI computer. Congratulations, you're now part of the grid. My kids now can have bodies, and they can be like Agent Smith, go between anybody, because you have signed a consent form that your body is not important to you because you care more about materialism.
So hold on. That went deep. What are you saying?
So in essence, how do you get these slain giants to get bodies back? How do you get mass possession grid in the last days? You accept this mark of the beast, convenience, wealth, materialism, things that Hermes would be promoting. You consent to that, you get demonically possessed. Man merging with machine, computers. As Elon Musk was saying, there'll be no need for cell phones in the future. AI will give universal income to everybody.
Maybe that's what Disney's doing with that terms of agreement case.
Yeah, could be.
You signed away, dude. We can put demons. We can put Nephilim giant spirits.
I mean, well, they start with you can't sue them if they kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because are you really you?
Right.
You get to take an actual ghost home with you from the haunted mansion.
Yeah.
Hey, and there's a reason so many of these entertainment contracts are, in perpetuity in all universes, known and unknown. You know what I mean? That's literally
totally right.
in contract language. Like, why would they? That's so bizarre.
That's so bizarre.
Wait up. So you're telling me when you sign a contract? Wait up. You're telling me if I sign a contract with like MTV, like the way Snooki did it, and you sign like perpetuity, that means forever. If an alien comes and adopts you, you're still part of the.
Yeah. If you by the way, if you're signing anything with MTV right now, you're not doing well.
Yeah.
Right. This guy's just holding on. He's
I
like,
just want to be on Real World. I just want to be on Real World. Come on.
Are they still doing that?
No, I don't.
No, I think that's
I
over.
don't think so.
I don't think they're doing that. It's just
Xavier.
ridiculous.
It's all that. It's all the challenge now. That's their big property is the challenge.
I just found it interesting with the lunar white dragon. It symbolizes death and rebirth. So I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, Ben Fulford on the phone. We got White Dragon Society over the White House and that.
Ooh.
So you guys ever hear of no-hide laws?
Yeah. Okay. This is super interesting.
Don't take my word for it. That's the hidden hand of Freemasonry. And this guy is deliberately looking at the camera going, he knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot. I'm not grabbing a pen. I know exactly what I'm doing. And Trump, according to Israeli national news, is the champion of Noahide laws.
Yeah, man.
And he signs it in the month of Taurus, the bull. Is that significant? I wonder. Yeah, I can skip some of that.
No, dude.
This is just talking
It's
about the tree stuff. We
crazy.
can skip. This is just showing some proof etymology-wise. Dumazit is Tammuz. There's a little bit of a connection with Trump's name to this guy, so it's not something I'm just going, you're making up, you're throwing random words around, stuff like you can do an etymology search yourself. Something I found interesting.
Real quick, before you move on, the no-hide laws, okay? Charlie, I don't know if you've heard about this, but David Goldberg, right? Have you heard the David Goldberg tapes?
No.
Okay, so a lot of people say this is just some weird kind of just a prank being pulled and that David Goldberg. It's Project Pogo Zeffler, and it's basically like anybody that questions Zionism or any of that stuff gets eliminated. Okay, and that they're gonna go really crazy because people are starting to wake up. What did we talk about at the beginning of this show? People are waking up. People are having real talks about it, and I remember I talked to Adam Green a long time ago because they mentioned Adam Green in this whole thing, and he was talking about how it was like he thought was a fan of his talking about it, and again we've had Adam on the show. We love having him on the show. It was a blessing. But when I start seeing all these censorship, anti-Zionism bills passing. I start going, this thing's still in play, man. Building all of these, people are talking about, real quick. Then you go back to the Dr. Dre's Super Bowl halftime show where they're dancing on those giant buildings, and people are like, those look exactly like the FEMA camp buildings. And they always love to talk about how, they do all that predictive programming during the Super Bowl and during the Olympics and all that stuff. And now they're passing all these anti-Semitism bills, like crazy bills that you're like, you were fine when they were talking about white people like that. But now because it's about Zionists, suddenly we're like, now we're passing law. It's like crazy. So you bring up the no-hide laws. Like, that fits right into that as well. It's crazy to me.
And again, who's their messiah figure? That's what I'm trying to show for folks. But again, Hermes, equivalent of Baphomet, because again, of this little thing right here, that's how I get proof. And as above, so below. It's affiliated with him. But guess what Bush was reading when 9/11 was going down? Skull and Bones member George W. Bush reading out loud from the book My Pet Goat after being warned about the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it is interesting. And then you watch My Pet Goat, the video.
I was about to say, have you anyone read the actual kid's book?
Have you ever seen the video, bro? It's crazy. And they introduced the guy, and he's obviously deflecting. I just put this together. I don't know what this means. I don't even know if he speaks like that, but I thought he was French. But it's like super interesting, dude.
You're talking about the iPet Goat thing, right?
iPet Goat, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, Coagula, that's Blood Clot, who's the guy that signed Operation Warp Speed. Same guy connecting with all of this.
Shit.
On either side of the two smaller figures, also duplicates of Mithra. One holds a torch upward, and the other a torch in reverse. The dataphors of the torchbearers represent the powers of life and death, of waking and waning, of spring and autumn, of ascent and descent. They are the symbols of the two great powers represented in the alchemetical and Rosicrucian, a Christian Master Mason, tradition. By the right hand, raised with finger pointing upwards, and the left with the fingers pointing downwards. By the mystic utterances, Coagula and Solve collect and disperse, mix and volatilize. Mithra is an equivalent of the Statue of Liberty person. It's the equivalent of Baphomet. So yes, it was a ritual connecting with this spiked crown guy. And again, like I said, with these freaking hat and the red caps of Mithra followers. So we might ask ourselves, did the model of liberty, freedom, and equality die out with the cult of Mithras? Did his red cap of liberty fall to the ground, forever to rise from the dark ages? Much later, some would say by magic, some would say by coincidence, some would say by the spirit never dies, the figurian cap came to figure heavily in the French Revolution iconography, probably influenced by the Roman goddess Libertas. And now all his followers are wearing this particular red cap. Under a spell.
So
and
is
again, like I
Biden.
said, his profile picture, I said it before verbally, but this is what he's got on his Instagram. You can pull it up on your phone right now if you so choose. 9 stars over one eye, 2 stripes. The number of followers he has, especially when his assassination went down, attempt. It was 25.2 followers. 2 plus 5 plus 2 is 9. He only ever follows 47 people. 4 plus 7, 9/11. again.
Bro, it is crazy. That Space Force logo is so crazy to me, dude. They don't even hide it anymore.
And he signed that one into the thing. And again, if you're of Dome, that kind of is another little bit of a, okay, so if, if Tower of Babel was a no-no, how come Rockets get an A+? I don't know. Is Disney trying to show us something every time that star? When you wish upon a star, angels were known as star walkers. Are you wishing upon a fallen angel?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
That's where Luke Skywalker gets his name from.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Skywalker? That's where he gets his name from?
Luke Skywalker gets his etymology from that. Yeah, angels were known as star walkers. Again, Starlink, Neuralink, X for Osiris Rising.
It's interesting because his original name was Star Killer in the original draft, which I find curious also.
Well, that way they can do plausible deniability, right? You put that out in the first one, fully knowing you're going to change it to Star Walker, which is fallen angel.
Well, or the powers that be influence, the craft like they are want to do with art.
Let's do a little rewrite here. Let's put a little bit more Mithras in here. We need a little pinch of Mithras in this script.
MAGA Red Dawn has all the same letters as Armageddon.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Strangely enough, in secret recording, Trump associates compare him to the Jewish Messiah. Lev Parnaz can be heard explaining to Trump that the Messiah is the person that comes to save the whole world. Again, Corona, all this stuff. Mithra, the Greek gods considered him Mithra, the sun god. Spiked crown. Again, I'm showing the definitions. You can look up a dozen things. This was only 4. I'm just saying, some folks are like, I read books all the time, but I'm trying to make it simple for babies that you can Google things.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
So, let's see. Yeah, this was just connecting with the Baltimore Bridge. Did we mention Candace?
Yeah, I mentioned Candace Owens earlier. Oh, no. Yep.
Wait up.
Walking down the checkered floor, yep.
On black only. That's moon. That's feminine. And you have Kamala Harris was doing something when she was walking down in the, I think it was over in Congress or in the White House. They take a picture of her with these 2 beams that are in the wall, but it's like, oh, and you're walking on black and white again. Interesting. Very interesting. And her father, you look up her dad, he had a Zionist guy that he's part of the Christian-Jewish coalition for like anti-Semitism in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Her husband, do I have the one on her husband? Her husband is the youngest member of the Black and White Ball, and that has connections with Rothschild. So just, I don't know.
Everything is a sorcery trick.
There's something there. I'm not buying her completely. Tammuz, we can see in the Catholic Church, radiant sunbeam right here. As I said, when you can join these 2 together, Star of Remphan. Many images of the Catholic Virgin Mary show her standing over a crescent moon. And there are many sun worship images throughout the Catholic Church, including the St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. The Eucharist wafer represents the sun god, which is placed on a crescent moon in the moontrance, representing their sexual union and the rebirth of their son Tammuz, aka Mithra. Islamic mosques and the crescent moon representing the moon god and a star for the sun god. Many times you see the pictures of the sun cradled within the Islamic moon symbol representing their sexual union.
Get some.
Put this on top. It's a Star of Remphan. Again, you lay this on top of the Hermetic Kabbalah Tree of Life. It is the same thing. You can find the Joy of Satan Ministries, and it'll connect the chakra to the Kabbalah. Anton LaVey.
But isn't the pride flag the opposite of our chakras?
Yes. And the only thing missing is like the light. I think it's turquoise around the heart region, which I found very interesting.
Oh, that is it. And then it's pride, which is supposedly a sin.
And Satan is the father of pride. And again, fun fact, sin is God for Allah, which is a moon god. And I'm finding that interesting because if Joseph Riviera, the Jesuit that came forward and said that it was the Catholic Church that established Islam as a broom for Israel, you look at nuns. They look just like somebody that's wrapped up in a hijab. You look at the prayer beads. You look at the mosques. They look very similar to the cathedrals.
Well, we know that Mohammed is distant cousins with Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, really? That I did not know.
Yeah, she bragged about it. And Val the Impaler, who's Dracula. I mean, my God, what an interesting family reunion you guys have. Val me Mohammed, Mohammed be Val. Vlad. Yeah, crazy.
They have it all there. And again, I find it interesting because, like, with the bridge, it was 47 years ago until it collapsed. It was like 47. Just like like I said, when you walk between the two pillars of Freemasonry, like I said, this is Tammuz doing the same statue, posed as a Statue of Liberty, pointing upward. This is their God potential. When you walk between the two pillars, it equals equilibrium, ascending into wisdom, unlocking your God potential. And I found it interesting that, like I said, 33 years apart for the Twin Towers to come falling down, and then the bridge that just collapsed in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, 9/11 numbers are always affiliated with this, but let's condense. That's actually what Building 7 represented as well.
What?
It was it was the third pillar, and between all of it, that is what Building 7 represented. Was this guy, your God potential? All of humanity will now walk into this new era of a new world order.
Again, you see those weird faces in the smoke. They look like demons.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I already explained. Internet, as I explained before, grave, tomb, corpse, funeral rites. Meta means death in Hebrew.
Oh.
Yeah. Zoomer, Gen Z, you mean Generation Zombie? I don't buy the Zoomer lie. Come on. And then we're in Gen Alpha right now. So
what are we in?
Going to be Gen Omega? Yeah.
Like,
Alpha and Omega. You become your own god? I don't know.
What is my daughters? What they're 2020. What's that generation?
Both were born in 2020. You got twins?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not quite sure. I
Beta.
think it's Gen Alpha right now.
Beta.
Is it Beta?
Hold on, they're generation Beta?
No. Generation Beta will be born from 2025 to 2029. And it's Alpha.
Oh, good. They're alphas.
Yeah, it's Alpha.
The mini millennials.
Oh, they're starting it all over again? Or
That's what they want. Atom, breaking the atom. Adam, reborn, rebirth. Great man in your own image. As Mark Twain, who was a 33, says, God created man in his own image, and man, being a gentleman, decided to return the favor.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Thanks a lot, big guy. And again, CERN, the Hadron Collider's opening of the Stargate. CERN is named after the Celtic god Cernunnos, lord of the underworld, hell. And CERN's headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, is a statue of Shiva doing the cosmic dance of destruction. Shiva is the Hindu avatar that parallels Nimrod, who built the Tower of Babel. CERN's Hadron Collider's rings mirror the spirals of Saturn Black Cube. In the occult, Saturn is the dark sun, the prison planet.
They aren't even trying with that logo, that CERN logo. That's just
they're not even trying, dude. So hold on. You're saying Shiva and
look at the way he's posed. Yeah, that's the Star of Remphan. You look at all the points of where he's posed, it's the Star of Remphan.
Hold on. You're saying Shiva is Remphan?
Yeah, he represents it. That's an equivalent of Baphomet. Or as they have here, the secret mission of CERN is to unleash Apollo and the dark angels from the abyss and create a stairway to heaven to make God with war with God Almighty.
Oh my! These nerds are going to get us killed. Johnny's people are just going to get us all fucked.
You think they're nerds, but they're far more malicious than nerds. That's what they want you to think. That they're just a bunch of geeks with glasses.
Yeah, Bill Gates is past the nerd.
Oh, it's just so crazy. They're just doing it out in the open. Everyone's like, oh, wow, this is crazy.
Again, sun and moon conjoined together like I just showed. That's the same thing as Cernunnos. Same freaking thing.
And what's crazy is if you bring someone here that like believes in this stuff, we'll be like, those are just all coincidence. You're just you're just going deep in the rabbit hole, which is crazy.
You're connecting dots that don't connect.
You're really making things up. You have crappy gematria. Granted, I don't dabble in gematria. I dabble enough to just be like, that's interesting. Not enough to, oh my God, my life relies on every single number. No, that's what they do. But the eyes, symbol of Tammuz, if vision is the theme, then eyes are the symbol. Trump's name in English numerically comes up to 185. In the Hebrew alphabet, someone did the math for me, it adds up to 666.
Oh, come on. Donald Trump equals 666 in the Hebrew.
In Hebrew.
Oh, my God.
The 185, it's similar to the Tammuz thing. It suggests that you are on the verge of a significant change that could lead you towards your highest potential. So you can be ready to embrace the changes and follow your intuition to achieve the success in your life. It's enlightenment, spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening to what? Like I said, the third pillar, you're opening your third eye. Like I said, he's holding a key. What is that? To unlock your God potential. He holds an anchor in one hand. Who do they have their hope in to unlock their God potential? Their savior figure. The guy who rids the world of their enemies. Now, interestingly enough, 2025, you add that together, is 45. The Psalm wedding, again, if you know anything about, ecclesia, church, that's what it's supposed to be called, but in earthly terms, they're looking for Trump for a Davidic bloodline. And in the Psalm, King David, the 41st person mentioned in Christ's lineage, marriage significance in King David's reign in Israel, manifestation of dreams and desires. 2025 added together is 9. 2027, connection between earthly realm and God, sacrifice and redemption. Now, if you're looking into the years ahead, according to Google Images, it says that's when Armageddon would occur. The number that comes up is 11, 9/11. 2030, add that together, is a relationship with God's Holy Spirit, personal liberty, relying on inner self. And then 2030, just add the 2 and 3, we get 5, which is the number of man, the pentagram, on the pineal gland.
Oh, my God.
You had Solve, 9/11, Coagula, everybody got the jick juice, and now we have 10 more years until we get to their New World Order vision.
So, and you think it's inevitable?
Oh, yeah. I'd put some cards on this. I'm truly convinced.
You put some money on it?
Mm-hmm. I would put money on it. I would put a lot on this, actually. I'm pretty convinced that either Donald Trump and Elon are the two prophets prepping the way for the Antichrist, and or it's Trump, because, like I'm going to show in the last couple slides, Trump is going to be connecting with the temple, and there's no need for a third physical temple. That's Antichrist in design. So, again, 666.
Unbelievable. This is just unbelievable.
666 is the number of the followers of the beast. 616 is the number of the beast. Now, like we did before with the flag, let's do a little fun stuff here. So we go with the skull and bones. The founding was on 322. 3 times 22 equals 66. What's missing? Your eye, your one. The eye that hangs over the magician, as I shown on the tarot card, that's your God potential. Okay, 33 times 2 equals 66. That's 1. That's I, your God potential. Marvel, you're on planet 616. That's the number of the beast. Interesting. But then you do, was it 9 times 11?
Yeah.
99. Invert that. 66. What's missing? Your I, your 1, your God potential. Granted, could all just be a coincidence, and this is why they make fun of us in the show like The Boys, because it's all just a coincidence. You guys are silly. You don't know what you're talking about.
Boy, they ruined that show.
Oh, yeah, with some Mithras.
Ugh, destroyed it.
So here's the thing.
Pinch of Mithras.
Palestine. Trump connects with Palestine, and it also connects with 9/11. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, then an Ottoman region with a small minority of Jewish population. The declaration was contained in a letter dated the 2nd of November of 1917 from the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Rothschild, a leader in the British Jewish community, for transmission to the Zionist Federation of the Great Britain and Ireland. The text of the declaration was published in the press on 9/11/1917. AKA, it was November, but we say 9 because that is the original. As we say, it's our 11th month, but 9/11, it would have been the 9th day on the 11th month, 9/11.
Okay, so this is super interesting because when you start to get into like this whole debate about Hitler versus Churchill. Charlie, do you have any thoughts on Hitler versus Churchill? Who you drafting?
Well, they were both up to no good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no at that level. There's no good guys.
There are
They're
no
all
good
bad
guys.
It's just a varying degree of awfulness. And Winston Churchill was no fucking savior. The guy was a maniac, and he has the blood of tens of thousands of people on his hands. And I have no respect for Winston Churchill at all.
I don't either. And they both serve the same people, you Hitler dick riders, and that is the Bank of England. Okay, they both were both doing the bidding of the same people. But the reason I bring that up is because if you study around just before World War II, you get into like everybody at the top of the British government. They're all Scottish Freemasons. They're all 33s. And it's just like walking hand in hand with Zionism.
Yep.
And you don't think the guy that basically gave them everything they wanted, which was the destruction of Europe and the territory of Palestine, wasn't working with them? They got everything they wanted. And then the rest of them went chilled in Latin America and gave us just like bunchins. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about
We'll just
here?
redistribute them.
You know, it's so dumb. They got everything they wanted. Dude, and the reason it's really interesting to me because you get into Israel in this one paragraph. You have Israel and the Ukraine and the UK and basically America as well, which is the lost tribes of Israel. If you go really deep into it, that gets in the lost tribes of Israel versus pagans. And who is the leader of the pagans? If you say Edom, which is basically Germany, dude. I know you may not, based on what I've talked to a lot of people. So, dude, the World War I, World War II just is totally trying to cripple this country, which is going to lead a bunch of pagans in this war of the lost tribes versus the pagans. And when did this coin come out, this Balfour coin?
This was in 1917, and exactly 100 years later. This is the 2017, but this was to commemorate for 100 years the Balfour Declaration, and they have Trump on there with Cyrus's face. And if you know, I'm going to read their part of their text, but if you know something about their text, their Messiah figure is nicknamed the Second Cyrus. He's not Jew; he's a Gentile. And who built these two towers? The Solomon brothers. Like I said, the two pillars, Yakin and Boaz, for King Solomon's temple. And the twin towers were built by And again, earthly Israel, or what they want, the Z's, they want a physical temple. That's not necessary, because when the temple veil ripped in two, Christ draws his last breath. What did that do? Because that was in the Holy of Holies, so what does that unleash? God's presence can now indwell the saints. Greater is he that is within you than he that is of the world. Know ye not, your body is the temple of the Lord. In contrast, we can become our own God. That's stupid.
And Tower 7 was known as the Solomon Brothers building because one of its tenants, Solomon Smith Barney, of course.
Whoa! Full circle! Bum, 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 bum. Wow.
I found it interesting when they started reporting on Trump's ear thing. It was reported exactly at 6/11. When you invert that, that's 9/11. But at the same time, 6 and 9 put together is the month of Cancer. And it happened in July. The verse that was talking about one of the heads of the beast seemed to have a fatal wound, and the fatal wound had healed, and the whole world was astonished and followed the beast. The two verses that are used was Revelation 13, 3 through 4. This assassination attempt occurred, when you add 3 and 4 together, it's 7, and it was on the 13th.
Oh, boy.
And again, Illuminati card games to have predicted enough is enough, the Great Awakening charismatic leader. Again, 333 is when it was published on exclusive details on TMZ Network, Tammuz. Granted, you'll get an official narrative, exoteric, but esoterically, I wonder. Tammuz. Just like Timu. Ever seen that? Yeah, here we go. See?
Wow.
Who's like Trump? He's the GOAT, greatest of all time. Doing a fist. The magician, MAGA. People getting tattoos. Image of the beast. I saw one lady getting a tattoo of Trump's name on her forehead. I'm like, what is this madness? What is this madness? You're crazy. As I said, here we go. Image of the beast. Word became flesh.
So I mean, you're obviously going that this was like a fake assassination, right? Oh, he was in on it.
Lean towards that because immediately afterwards there was a rabbi that said that in October 2nd of 2027 they're going to be doing an announcement during Trump's administration, and I highly suspect because he had blood on his ear, blood on his hands, and the first thing he was noted of saying, "Where are my shoes?"
Yeah.
Blood on his feet, and that is the anointing of a high priest.
What?
Mm-hmm. I think it's in Leviticus. I believe it's Leviticus.
He did ask for his shoes. Like, why? What do you? That's the last thing. Let's go. Get me out of here now.
Trump 45 is 4 plus 5 is 9. 47.
Oh
4 plus
my
7 is
God.
9,
Lord,
like
I'm
I
sorry
said,
to take your name
you
in
can look it up.
vain. Sorry.
Open up your again, it was on from Sunday, March 27th, 2016 to Saturday of July 16, 2024. 3,030 days. But they're just showing a couple other connections here with Trump's name and dates that are all adding with 333, 333, 333. Why? Like I showed on the American flag, 33. When you add the stars going this way, that way, it's 9. Going column-wise, 11. Then you add the stripes, 33. What's at the top?
You know what's crazy?
Well,
You know what's crazy? He's still at that same amount of following. I don't know when you screenshotted that, but I'm guessing your following goes up when you're the president, unless he goes in there and takes it. He doesn't let people follow him, so he keeps that exact number, which is 26.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
If you just screenshot that recently, that makes no sense. But if you
that was
screenshot
back in July,
yeah, it should be higher. It should be by one.
especially after a shot like that.
Yeah,
should be
motherfuckers.
And again, like I said, the Messiah figure, his dad's name was Frederick Christ, as we talked about before, Mary Ann. And then again, he was born on a blood moon.
What the
and where was he? When was this born?
Stop saying the Lord didn't invade.
Was born, the sun.
Sorry, guys. We had Sam's Raiders helmet just almost killed him here in the studio. It fell from the wall after he took the Lord's name in vain.
Apologize, man.
That's a sign. Bet the under.
That's another.
I bet the. I said I repent for my sins, Lord.
Did we lose any bobbies?
That's another L for the Raiders.
Nope.
If your bobblehead had broken,
Okay.
I just saw Mark Davis at the In-N-Out down the street from where I am here a couple days ago. I was bursting out laughing. He had that Prince Valiant haircut and everything.
Oh no.
Who was it?
Black Panther.
The worst haircut.
Yeah,
the worst.
Yeah, he lost his left leg, or his right leg.
Who, Kawhi did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just like real life, huh? Guy can't stay healthy.
Dude, that was so rude. I cannot believe you just said that, bro.
At least he's got a real injury in the bobblehead version.
Oh my
Something we can see.
I think we have
No, I said it again, Lord. I
Watch out, buddy. Cover your. I wear a helmet tomorrow. Next week.
Okay.
I think you should end the
Speed Racer helmet.
Oh my Lord! Luckily, the Johnny Woodard card was okay.
Thank the Lord.
That's a Slap Pack original.
Sorry, guys. Slap back. Oh my God! And little Sean Kemp's okay. Thank God. All right, go on. What were you doing, dude? We just had a major tragedy in here.
So I was saying all this stuff with Babylon working. On top of that, the sun stood between the two horns of Taurus. Like I said, he signed the Noahide laws in the month of Taurus. Donald Trump is their man to perform that pterodactyly, the ritual where Mithras kills a bull. Mithras represents Apollo, aka Apollyon, from CERN, and the bull represents God. Is that your real red heifer is going to go kill God?
Oh my
shit.
So
I wonder.
nuts. Dude,
and
this
again,
symbolism.
A lot of conservative news hosts were calling this. It looks like a phoenix after the shooting. The phoenix rising from the ashes. America, like I said in the beginning, is known as the land of the feathered serpent or the phoenix. All-seeing eye up here. This is an Italian parade, if folks want to look it up. You have the eagle on his arm, and then you have the Statue of Liberty on his kneecap.
That's so strange.
That's just a weird.
Like I said, Semiramis and Tammuz. This is dispensationalism, the whore of Babylon. And this is what most adult dispensationalists are doing. They suck at the teat of the whore of Babylon, just like most people do with the ideologies. An ideology that tries to replicate God with counterfeit, but then they're over here doing all this stuff like, who is like Trump? The goat, the greatest of all time. The goat, the beast, And what did he say? A shepherd unto mankind. Christ separates the sheep from the goats. Dumazid was a shepherd to goats.
So, can I ask you a question? Are they just are they communicating with themselves with this sort of stuff? Because the average person, this is totally lost on them, right? They're not witnessing any of this. So is this like I'm reading a map, but I've got a decoder ring and I can read it clearly now, as opposed to everyone else who sees something different?
Well, it's like National Treasure. There's a reason why they do those movies for us, but it's like, look at Ben Franklin's glasses. You click 1, click 2, and then you're going to see something a little bit differently that everybody else doesn't see. Or even the movie They Live.
Yeah.
Where you put on the glasses, suddenly now you see everything as it really is. I mean, the head actor said it is a documentary.
It is also, it's like women. Who do women dress for? Other women. This could be symbolism to the others that this is our operation, this is our guy, we got him, we took him out, he's in charge. You know, this could be also symbolism to the other people who know what they're looking for.
You know what this? Know what?
This is our guy. This is. He's with us. He's one of us.
Yeah.
He's a good fella. He's one of ours.
Like with all the people that suicided themselves or unlived themselves for wherever this is at. You know, and they're found like sitting with a scarf around their neck tied to a door. That's the belief that's telling the cops do not investigate.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of? A perfect example is remember that brand Balenciaga? Yeah. Where you knew exactly, like they knew who they were catering for. You knew exactly what you were looking for. Remember the little signs? You're like, unless you know, you don't know. You just assume.
What about what's her face? Like Cardi B, is that her name? Like, dude, she literally did a photo shoot with the word pedophile spray painted on the back lightly. It's the weirdest thing.
In her defense, Sam, she can't read.
Okay. Point Charlie Robbins.
That's totally fair.
But yeah, the occult speaks through signs, symbols, and spells, whereas in contrast, God only speaks through word, His word, where it became flesh. So it's kind of like where folks are not understanding is like they can literally get anything away. It's like I said, the magician, like we know with Trump's known as the great magician. You can look up a dozen articles as this. I showed you the ball, right? We're playing the little cap game. You don't know if I rolled it up my wrist. You don't know if I hid it in a secret pocket. You don't know if it's underneath one of the caps that I'm holding right now. But I showed you elements of the trick. I didn't show you how we did it. That is kind of how they play all these large-scale false flag events on folks. I'm not saying people didn't die at the thing. Just like with 9/11. I'm not saying people didn't die. What I'm saying is, you're just a little garnish for our plans.
How many people think he's saying nobody died? Raise your hand if you think he's saying no.
Well, what you want to look for in something like that is their symbolic references in the media when they show a pile of shoes or they show a bicycle that's by itself. Yeah. And you'll start to recognize that when you see shoes in photographs or when you see random bicycles that sort of imply a child was riding this bike, but they are no longer riding this bike because they were tragically taken away. So they do or a child was wearing this shoe, but they were running for their life and they lost the shoe. And here's a picture of the shoe and all of that energy that is behind that. Well, also it means we're on it. This is our op. If you want to, this is, we're behind this. Don't get too freaked out.
It's funny. It's kind of like that negative space at the Trade Center site too, right? Where it implies what happened there as well. That's interesting.
I still can't get over this. This bitch still has that on her Instagram.
What bitch?
Yeah.
That didn't delete it. You would delete it. I would assume you would delete
it. That she considers that a troll. She's trolling someone else who was accused of that or something.
I don't know.
They claim that she claims. I don't know. What is it? Who was it she was supposed to be trolling?
Cortez.
She was supposed to be trolling Nicki Minaj is what it is.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber, dude.
Seriously. There's a kid inside you and you want to write pedo and troll someone else?
Crazy. All right, now, keep going.
So, we're almost done. Something I found interesting is the 2 marks on Trump's cheek after the assassination just looks like the 2 stripes of
dude, you totally nailed that, bro. Look at that, bro. Now, how does he do that in real time? Is he like, beep,
right?
beep?
And again, if Babel was not allowed, how come we're allowing rockets? And who signs Space Force? Who signs Warp Speed? This guy. And what they wanted, again, if folks didn't know, you were just mentioning earlier October 7th. So, fun fact.
Fun fact.
October 7th is the worship day for Dionysus, the masked god of theater, a.k.a. an equivalent of Nimrod. So October 7th, there was an attack. It's like, is that it? Like, did you say? It's like our 9/11. Yeah, it was. Because Israeli
theater
Minister Netanyahu holds up a map of the new Middle East without Palestine during his September 22nd, 2023 address at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. This is like 14, 15 days right before the attack, right? 14 days, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 15. And then you have the greater Israel map. Why? Because Gaza, off the coast, they have a dozen or so oil reserves that are ready to be mined and harvested. And what was the movie that came out during the same time with an actor that happens to be part of the World Economic Forum?
What?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
It blows
Killing
up.
presidents and then selling their land for big oil people. They're showing it in real time.
Just
so here's this one.
murking Indians, dude. That
here.
movie was hard to watch.
Yeah. Economist Magazine with a question mark over Trump's ear.
Damn.
And they also predicted in 2012 to 2013, I think it was December, January issue, Hamas and Netanyahu fighting on hang gliders at the top of the cover of that photo.
Yep.
The name of the town, Butler, is significant. In ancient times, part of a butler's job was to expose and stop assassinations. The location of the rally is on the same line and latitude of Butler's only Freemasonic Lodge, Lodge 272. It happened 33 weeks and 3 days after both anniversary of the JFK assassination, as well as 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days before the election. Both 3 and 33 are very significant in the occult and Freemasonry. Trump was shot 66 days after the SS director Kimberly Chattel was sworn in her role on 9/17/2022. The attempt occurred when the infamous Bohemian Grove was having their yearly encampment. The photo of the bullet passing Trump was taken by the same photographer who took the photo of Bush during 9/11. And the building the shooter shot from was owned by Clayton Dublier and Rice. The founder of this company is a member of the CFR. Council of Foreign Relations.
Yeah. Brian Kellen's
babysitters.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
And Planet Trump, I did a whole episode on that. But breaking this down, they have Trump sitting on the globe, and who's underneath him? The Magician Tarot card.
Whoa!
I feel like the next step in this is to be able to take these magazine covers that are in real time and extrapolate out what they mean in the future, as opposed to being in essentially the future, looking back on them when they were, but instead say, and I know it's easier to do it this way because you don't really know what they mean, but with the Economist magazine, they have a long reputation of doing things like this. So we could just take all of the covers of theirs and just analyze the shit out of them in advance and sort of figure out where they are going forward. I don't know that I would have ever, you put hang gliders on there with the Hamas. I would have never. My mind wouldn't have gone to, well, maybe they'll use hang gliders to invade. But now looking back on it, you look at it, you go, boy, that's a very peculiar thing,
very specific
thing to put on there. Of all the things you could have put on, you could have put a tank versus you could have put a helicopter versus, but you put that is very unusual. And I think when people start to understand the true history of Hamas and how they were formed by the Israeli Mossad as controlled opposition, I think that starts to make a little bit more sense of like how they would know that in advance. Well, they know that in advance because they're not allowed to do anything without Israel knowing what's going on. So of course you could make a case that this was planned well in advance. So with the approval of the Israelis, of course, they would have to know this. And this reminds me of 9/11 and we get to this quote from the dancing Israelis. And at that point we were taken for another round of questioning, this time related to our alleged being members of Mossad. The fact of the matter is we are coming from a country that experiences terror daily. Our purpose was to document the event. How can your purpose be to document an event that you don't know is going to be happening unless you know that it is going to be happening? Therefore, you were there to document the event that you were involved in.
100%. And it's it's just like people can't come to grips with that. Because in order to understand that, it's almost like you're telling the entire Babylonian money system you don't want to work with them anymore. So people refuse to do it. When we got Charles Kirk or whatever his name is.
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, dude, the USS Liberty is a giant conspiracy. You're like, you're the most disrespectful motherfucker out there. Yes. It is unbelievable. And it's just like, and again, if you kind of study Candace Owens, it's almost like they're trying to show everybody, if you go down this path, look what happens to you. You're going to get excommunicated. Why are husbands cashing checks the whole time?
But if everybody goes down this path, there's nothing they can do.
That's the biggest thing. Like, it's like I go up on stage when I say the stuff that pisses these people off, but I say it to go, look, the walls aren't bleeding. The world isn't imploding. And then you just see more and more. I guarantee you, dude, you're about to see comedy become really politically incorrect. I'm always one step ahead of it. And that's what's going to happen. People just need to see it's okay. And then they'll start to go down that way.
We've been trained for so long that if somebody were to call you a racist or if somebody were to call you an anti-Semite, that is the equivalent of bursting into flames.
Yeah.
And what happens now is that people have, it's been overused. The racism terms and the anti-Semitism terms have been overused to a point where it just diminishes the impact of that word for actual victims, people that have legitimately been shunned because of their skin color or their religion or whatever. I mean, it's disrespectful to actual victims. And what we found is that over time, you can now say this and you don't burst into flames and they have no power over us anymore. It's like, well, I'm going to go tell everybody that you're anti-Semitic. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, go have a good time.
Now what? Go do it. Now what? Are you going to get me fired from my job? Good luck with that. Am I going to is everybody going to hate me? Probably not. Have you been on Twitter lately? It's over.
Chaos.
It's over. You
Yeah.
know, what happened with October 7th and the overplaying of the hand and how they used that as the justification to commit a genocide. People are saying, boy, this looks awfully familiar to another one of these things that we had with 9/11. Boy, I wonder whose fingerprints are all over that. Look at the similarities.
100%.
So you're going. This is the end of the PR battle for the state of Israel is going to be increasingly more difficult these days. And you're right, Sam. You see what's happened with the Candace Owens, and we've seen what's happened with these groups connected to the Daily Wire and all of that. Boy, if you're on Team Israel, things are a lot easier for you. And then when you're not, things are stacked against you. And it's almost like that Voltaire quote about understanding who rules over you. That becomes more relevant and people start to go, you know what? It was all conspiracy theory to me years ago. Everyone was telling me that believing this stuff is somehow anti-Semitic. And now, unfortunately, I'm just going where the evidence takes me, and it's pointing back to a particular group of people that have a disproportionate control over what people in America are allowed to even say or think. And those days are coming to an end.
I totally agree.
Tired of it.
We're getting to the point.
I don't blame them.
We're getting to the point where everybody is going to be treated like white people on Twitter in 2018. Where you can just
Like
get teed off. Yeah. You can just get teed off on if you pull some bullshit. And it's like, the one thing I don't want to get to, and I see it on Twitter by people I think are really smart, which is getting back into the condemning entire groups of people, but now you can say whatever you want to say about them. That's not what I'm about. I don't want that. What I do want is if there's a statistic out there that illuminates a situation, I think we should be able to discuss it, right? If you go, this group of people are 2% of the population, but they represent Like, what was it? Some crazy fun. Like in the Oscars, like they're 2% of the population, but they're 40% of the people who win Oscars. Like that's crazy to me, and that's just an entertainment. Like if we take a look at like the amount of people on the Supreme Court, the amount of people in banking, the amount of people in these giant fucking departments which control how we live our life, whether it's finance and health and all that. If you go, they're 2% of the population, but they're this percentage. That's a conversation I don't mind having.
And they can't say that they're not wielding that influence either, because you can see, like, remember when they opened that the Academy Museum down here?
Yeah.
And they had almost no mention of Jews, and it was like his minority, but didn't mention Jews. The influence on Hollywood.
Yeah.
But right before it was about to open, and the people that funded it, all Jewish people.
Lost
their mind. They had to, at the last minute, like change that whole exhibit to highlight the influence of Jewish people.
My favorite was Michael Rappaport and the whole group because there was this movement to get, like, you had to be woke in production now. You had to have X number of people to get an Oscar nomination, and then the Jews tried to be like, we should be included in that. And I was like, that's the, like, black people saying we should mandate a certain amount of black people in the NBA. You're like, you're 80% of the NBA. You're fucking good, dude.
Sam, one of the things that's a telltale sign that you're dealing with somebody of below average intelligence is a failure to understand the concept of statistical probability.
Yeah.
And to understand a concept of averages. When you say, on average, Asian people are very slender. And some guy says to you, I know a fat Japanese guy.
Yeah.
And you go, you don't understand. We're talking about averages.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this, too, when you start to bring up the 2% thing, people start to go, like, what are we? Let's stop conflating the numbers. No, we're talking about actual statistics, and these are very important that we have this conversation. If the numbers are racist to you, that's a you problem. That's not our problem, right? So this idea that they've set a certain concepts are just off limits. You're not allowed to ask questions about them. You're not allowed to say, well, listen, 2% of the population, but 40% of the Oscars or whatever. Like, hey, maybe there's disproportionate representation here, or maybe somebody's just excelling at a higher rate
I'm
than the
fine
other
with
people,
that, which
right?
is the NBA.
Too, fine, but let's be honest about it. The fact that once you start, you're not even allowed to ask questions about it. That's a huge problem, because then it starts to be like, well, what are you deflecting away from? What do you deflect? You don't want us asking questions about
so
this?
Right.
Why?
You're so
Why
right.
don't you want us? Again, it goes back to this huge. When you tell the truth, it's just the truth. It just is out there, and it doesn't need your defense. But if you tell a massive lie, it requires the constant maintenance by you to make sure that you defend it so nobody can poke holes in it, nobody can ask questions about it, because as soon as they start doing it, it's a big lie and it's going to fall apart. So whenever I see people that are telling us we can't ask questions about something, that to me looks like a defense mechanism where you're trying to protect a huge lie from being exposed. So if you won't let me talk about it, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it all day then.
The best example of that, Charlie, is when Alejandro Mayorkas, whatever his name is, the head of Homeland Security, when he was getting pressed about the border and his role in the amount of immigration all he kept talking about was how his grandparents or his parents were survivors of the Holocaust. You can't do that, dude. You can't tell us, you can't use that as a shield against criticism and tell us we also can't discuss it. That's not how it works. And that's why it's like, dude, we're going to get into it. You can't stop it. No matter, like, the best example of how, like, they try to control the internet. They can't control the internet. Even if they censor us, they can't control it. So now they're flooding it. Which is, you can't control. People are going to talk about the Holocaust, dude. It's like they're just going to discuss it. You can't stop. You can't bring it up all the time and then tell them they also can't discuss.
Have you seen the interview with Piers Morgan, Candace Owens, and that rabbi?
Yeah.
It starts off with, I'm not a Holocaust denier.
Yeah. Well, they did clips of it to get you into it.
She gets them. Like, it's
He looks so bad, too. But, okay, let's end this. I don't want to keep you guys all day. Let's get into it.
Reminded me of Spaceballs is like, when he's giving out the whole thing is like, how I know you. He's like, well, does that have to do with anything? Nothing. It's just like, my grandfather was bullied in high school.
Yeah.
What's that have to do with anything?
That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, we all have our impression.
By the way, my family died in the Armenian genocide. I don't hate all Turks because of that. And I don't bring up the Armenian genocide to my girlfriend whenever she's like, who's that chick? I don't go,
yeah.
It's my family died in the Armenian genocide, woman. How dare you question me? I was just getting my feelings out about my family perishing. It's like, it's so stupid.
You should do that, actually. That might work today, honestly. You should.
I should talk about that on stage, dude. I would love to use the Holocaust to get out of everything.
Maybe you're having a bad night, and just be like, you guys know that my family died in the Armenian.
You pull out your grandma's ring. You pull out your grandma's ring that she hid, and like, you see this ring?
Yeah, wear it around your neck. Dude. Put it on.
You know where this came from? Armenia. Go on. Okay, that's finished.
Just tying up again with the Euphrates significance, what I found interesting is Mithra's base of operation was at the base of River Euphrates. Considering that it's been drying up a lot lately.
Oh, God.
And there's an election about to go through. I'm over here going, guys, I think we're a lot closer than people are thinking. Whether you believe the Bible or not, they apparently do because they think it's their Messiah figure. And lastly, we will be like God's AI. A equals 1, I equals 9, X for Osiris rising, aka American Idol. And Hermes' name roughly translates in Sumerian to His Highness, the hero of divine ordinances of eternal youth. Their Messiah figure rids the world of the Gentiles that are causing problems, aka it's okay to say it. I'm over here going, if he's a champion of Noahide laws and he's about to get in, I kind of am a little bit like, I wonder how long that's going to last until, we got to get rid of the people that are asking questions and thinking for themselves because thinking's becoming illegal.
It is crazy, dude, how they're really... like, Europe is lost. They're just lost. There's just, give up your guns, there you go. And, bro, they got Germany. Germany is so lost. Mm-hmm. Germany is so lost. And they just keep getting worse and worse and worse.
England's right after them.
England's right there too, dude. England's right there. And it's like everything that the progressives are trying to convince you, you can see how that plan doesn't work out in Europe. Get rid of the guns. You're going to get stabbed. Okay? You can get rid of the guns. You're going to get stabbed.
Sam, in the UK, they have a knife collection bin where if you have a knife and you want to get rid of it because you don't want to participate in violence, you can just anonymously put it in the knife collection bin. And then what happens is that the knife collection bins get stolen.
Yeah.
Take all the knives with them.
Yeah, you just handed your knife to the criminals. Great.
Yeah, just walk up to an illegal, hey, do you need this? Stop. It's like when I was telling you where I almost got stabbed, giving the guy $20.
Yeah, it's so funny. Dude, it's quickly unrelated. There's this guy who is a gun right activist, and he shows up at these buybacks and stands outside the property and buys the guns off of people before they go in. He's like, I'll give you $20 for it if you're giving it away for more than they would have given.
Yeah.
And he just ends up at the end of the day with just this collection, this massive armory of it's hilarious.
That's great.
Well, guys, great show, dude. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy that you could join us, Charlie. You guys both super crushed. It was great, yeah. Brandon, as always. You're have great autistic detail to this, and we loved it. It was great. And so, Brandon, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, Mana Daily Podcast, Spotify, Rumble, YouTube, and now branching out into BitChute, Patreon as well, if you guys can support. Cool. And then Krollology 101, Kroll, like my name on the screen, ology, lore _ 101.
All right, all the links below, and good luck on BitChute, dude. Dog, that is like Mad Max in the Terror Dome of fucking comment sections, dude. You are making runs for oil and water, and fucking desert pirates are just trying to pick you off as you're trying to just post videos, dude. BitChute don't give a fuck, bro. BitChute don't give a fuck. Charlie, where can they find you again?
Macroaggressions.io is the best place to find me. You mentioned audiobooks. The Octopus of Global Control is now available as an audiobook. Wherever audiobooks are available, including Spotify, they have it now too. So check it out.
Oh,
Go get The Octopus of Global Control. 23 hours of Graham from Grimerica in your ear hole, giving you a nice, sweet Canadian accent
I love
to deliver
it,
the really bad news to you about where we are.
I love it. Charlie, you do such great work. It's always a pleasure to work with you on the Union of the Unwanted. Again, guys, check out all the links below, and let's break down this episode. All right, let's get into it. What'd you guys think?
I'm scared. I don't know what to think about Trump no more.
Well, dude, that's great. Like you said, nobody's coming to save you. That's it. Well, that's the next episode coming out, but nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself.
What does that mean, though? Like, I know what you mean, but, like, you got to save yourself.
Load it up, bro. Get your guns. Get your land.
I've been thinking about this, by the way,
Grow your
Sam.
own crop. I'm growing my own cocaine now.
I've been thinking about this seriously. I think we should go in on a boat because we're never getting out by land out of the city.
Ooh.
We go down to the coast, get a little slip there, and we get a boat, head down to Mexico.
Where are we going? How do we get
Mexico.
it? So we have to have
and boats
one,
dude,
two,
I've been looking at boats. They're super affordable.
4. I'm going to have to take the other one. So 5. We need one for 5. How many? 1, 2.
Just 2.
That's 2. That's 7.
2. Just me and one more person.
Okay, we're leaving Weird Will behind.
Yeah,
Is that Weird Will, you can float on those tits.
But we can live off the ocean, food.
All right.
Make our own water.
Is this going to be our version of Anne Frank, but on a boat where we're just all fighting?
It's going to be Gilligan's Island.
Who gets thrown overboard first? I don't know.
Me.
Bad knees over here. Bad knees. Learn to swim.
Hey, here's the question. Are we bringing Mark?
No.
Well,
of course not.
Mark's way over there in Connecticut. He's going to have to fight his way out.
No, he doesn't want to come here. This is the place nobody wants to come.
Yeah,
in the apocalypse.
it's so crazy.
But seriously, I think that's the move.
We got to get a bunch of... I'm going to have a garage sale. I'm just going to give shit away.
And then buy a boat.
And then I'm going to buy a bunch of dirt bikes.
Nice.
That me and my family can sit on when we got to get out of town, dude.
What if it's the
shotgun?
What if the fault, though? Like, what if the fault splits, you know? And I mean, your dirt bikes ain't getting you past the...
You never know, dude.
California.
What are you going to walk?
No, I'm getting on a boat. And
Are you going to... Is there going to be a... what are you going to be... Israelis on 9/11 get a 2-hour warning? Is that what you think you're going to do?
When it happens, I'm on the west side. I'll walk to the marina.
Okay.
That is walkable. I mean, it'd take a cool minute.
Oh, you are on the west side. You're set.
Yeah, he could walk there.
Who's more...
I'm absolutely serious
Who's more screwed, me or him? He's in Glendale.
Oh, he's screwed. Yeah,
I'm fucked. I can't. I got to go through downtown LA. Can you imagine going through downtown?
Well, you got to go through East LA first.
Yeah.
Me?
No,
he's got to go through downtown LA, then East LA.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You're F's, bro.
Yeah, you're good. I think it'll be a nice little walk.
All his supplies will be gone by the time if he makes it that far. Yeah. But no, I'm dead serious. But I'm thinking about.
Dude, he's gonna be. I'm coming with my girl by the time you get there. I lost her along the way. Why? Because I kicked her. So I grabbed her, so I took off.
Right.
You know, it's crazy. Listen, dude. Listen, this is a great thing. It's good. You know why I love this episode is because it was fun to see Charlie Robinson reacting to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's always degrees of how deep do you go. Not everybody goes deep enough. Maybe that's why Charlie can live in a society and function in a functional way.
He's also a very sensible guy too. That's why I like to.
Yeah. I mean, he just dropped on us. He worked with Eli Manning, and we're all just like, what?
He's got great judgment though.
So you definitely think he was in the deep end today?
What do you mean?
Charlie Robinson was the deep end?
Yeah. He's quiet.
It's not his usual. It's not where he hangs out.
I don't know. He may have, but I listen. I can't judge. He's on the Union of the Unwanted. He gets it. I just don't know if that's his specialty. Like, I love that stuff. I like the hidden occult and hidden history. That's the show. Those are my favorite things to talk about. I don't know what he talks about. He seems to be on the geopolitical side, which is fine. I mean, like, I can't judge him. He's really great. But he said he learned a lot of shit.
You say you're into ancient history, and I know you're not. Like, you got your
hidden history.
Hidden history. Well, would you ever like travel and like go see the pyramids? Is that ever part of like I want to see that?
So when my daughters turn 12, they're gonna stop hanging out with me, according to statistics, and that's when I'll do some traffling.
Sounds like it might, based on what you said on Broken Sim, it might be a little earlier than that.
Oh, they're already talking shit. But
what are you doing here?
What are you doing? But did you see somebody wrote a comment? Sam, none of us want to hear stories about your kids.
Yeah, they
it's
do.
not interesting to us. I'm like, sounds like you need to find a new podcast.
People without kids don't want to hear. That's what it is.
But
It's like
yeah,
they think that they're used to being the center of the universe. Is kind of the
yeah.
issue, right?
I mean, it's just you know what it is. It's like when you have no responsibilities, you don't want to hear about responsibilities.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? And that's just why it's like, so I was having a discussion last night with somebody about how certain comics, veteran comics, we're going to say it nicely, they don't like to go late in shows. They like to go early.
Why? Because wild?
Well, because it's like if you're 50 and you're still doing like chasing pussy jokes and shit like that, it just comes off weird. Your act is supposed to grow with your life. So when you're going to play the young people show and you're like, my kids, they're like, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like pop comedy is big for a reason because there's a lot of young people going to comedy shows. And it's like when you're older talking about your kid, it's like, we don't want to hear it. We're out partying right now. Talk about coke and blowing nuts and stuff like that, right?
That's why it's good that your people age with you, though, right? I mean,
well, but you've seen and we'll get back to the subject. But if you study pop comedy, you'll study these comedians right now that are kind of blowing up on Instagram, they're great writers. I am going to be honest with you. I really love a lot of these young comics. I know I bitch sometimes about LA comedy. I think they're great writers. I think they have way better structure comedically than my generation, personally. But they're just way more corporate. They're trying to play the more corporate game, which I don't think is art, but I'm also a retard. So, it's super interesting. But I've watched comedians who used to be really killing with the young girls, and then they got older, and it's like, you got to transition, dude. And I'm going to tell you, obviously, Chris D'Elia doesn't like what happened to him. I totally get that.
Not surprised. Yeah.
Not surprised at all. But I'm going to tell you something. That forced that dude to change his style.
Oh, really? Has it?
I think he got more real after it.
He leaned into some of his jokes. One of his last reels.
He got more real because he had to get more real. Because I think if he was on his trajectory, he was going to go into this kind of pop comedy thing. And that doesn't work when your crowd is now married with kids and you're still doing pop comedy stupid shit, which is fun, but it's like, you need to get, at some point, you got to get more real in your act.
So would you say that's going to happen? No, it's bound to happen to Matt Rife? Where he's got to get more real, more...
Yeah, he's going to have to eventually get real, more real. He's gonna get married. He's gonna have kids. He's gonna that simple fun just observations of why do girls do this when they're out, which girls love. I mean, I was watching last night. I was watching female comics go on stage murdering last night, Nikki Glazer. I'm not lying to you. Murdering Nikki Glazer, fucking Jordan Jensen, who will bury people. She will bury people.
It's funny the way we talk about comedy, isn't it? Murdering, burying people, killing.
Did you see there was this guy
But the point is, real quick, women love that. They relate to that stuff. But at some point, you got to evolve. It's got to be a bigger thing. That's all it is. So what do you want to say real quick?
No, I was saying that there's this guy that made this little YouTube video where he's like, he goes into a news. Have you heard of the comics that murder people? And he makes it seem like they're talking about really murdering. I murdered the room, and everyone's like, can you believe this guy's murdering people? We're just letting him watch his podcast. And it's just funny. He's like, and this guy bombed the place. And it's just they used the wordage where it's
so the last thing I'll say about that, stand-up comedy is the only place where good is better than great. So if someone goes, hey, dude, good set, that means you annihilated. Someone goes, great set, that means you did your job.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No one goes, good set. Nobody says good set oh, great job. No, it's good set, dude. That was a good set. That's correct. Okay, guys, you go to SamTripoli.com. We're gonna get through this real quick. All my audio. I mean, all my podcasts are there. Premium content's on fire. I took a tiny break when I went on the road. We're back at it. Gonna put out some great stuff tonight. Probably gonna put up 2 episodes at the time of recording this. Dangerous. Giant Cash Reads the Bible. Stuff you can't get anywhere else on SamTripoli.com.
There's stuff that you don't even have announced on there, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that doesn't show up
here. Yeah,
here.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
There's more episodes. I just don't list the dangerous. If you go to patreon.com, Cash Daddies, you're going to learn how to make money in these crazy ass markets, okay? Go up. These crazy ass markets. Also, so just go check it out. How you do? He's on fire. Chaos Twins coming. We have a new episode coming out. Plus, we're working on the animation. I promise you, guys. This is where the magic is. Cameos. A lot of people bought cameos. I didn't do them. I'm going to make them up to you guys. I promise you. Go back a little bit. Buy gold and silver. You heard about it earlier. Great way. Precious metal sent to your house for as little as $50 a month. Matt Rife Technologies. Get your energy right. Different Matt Rife. Okay. AquaCure Hydrogen Brown Gas. You guys are buying some. We love it. It's a great way to get hydrogen in you. It helps you slow down your aging process, according to them. Harley Ray. We had her jump in one of our Cash Daddies live streams. One of the best websites I've ever seen. Shiny objects. Fun for the whole family. I just took my chemical-free body. I took my supplements every day. I love it. I'm really slow if I don't take them. I feel 10 times better. As you know, I love the Alpha Energy. I could take it every day, all the time. That's my chemical-free body. Click the link. Then we got Joel Staley. Then we got EMF Rocks. Joel Staley, if you want to learn how to get in shape. Prometheus, if you're looking for decentralized websites. And, dude, this guy crushed today. Woo. Brain Supreme. We know you guys love it. They told you guys are buying it left and right. We're super excited for you. Check out Brain Supreme microdosing. Nuke Social. Woo. People are on it. People are talking. It's decentralized social media on SamTripoli.com. Only Conspiracies Telegram, all that stuff. Maybe Xavier Guerrero will jump on so he has something to do on the show. And then you can go to 0, and you keep going down. You also get the all the audio, all the videos, SamTripoli.com. Anything else?
Hit that like button, subscribe, please.
Anything else?
Come see me at Johnny Woodard on Twitter.
Okay, enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
Can you go to XG's Instagram and let's watch his latest video?
Oh, his YouTube?
Or his photo shoot he did?
Oh, he's got a photo shoot? All right.
It makes no sense.
He's like Jake Pauling it out, though, dude. He's like doing he's really taking it seriously.
Go back to his,
Hold on, I gotta,
his Instagram.
Hold on,
this guy is unbelievable.
Hold on, I got it.
Yeah, look at it. Read the thing.
All right, so it says she definitely messing with a broken N-word. There you go. And it's him in front of his car with his wallet open and making that XG face he makes. What is that face? What would you call that face?
I don't even know.
Because he does that same pose every picture.
Every time.
It's
what
like,
is that?
Hey, dude.
It's like girls have their Instagram face. It's like bad Mexican sitcom acting. Go to the next
dude,
picture.
it is, dude. What was
Go back.
It's kind of, what was the guy that, not Cheech Marin, but the guy Rodriguez. What was the guy's name?
Okay,
that kind of fat,
I love it. And now you say the N-word, bro?
Yeah.
Keep going,
What
dude.
was that? What was the Rodriguez, the actor from
Paul?
like the 80s? Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah, he still does stand-up.
That's a Paul Rodriguez face right there. Yeah, for sure. What's he did a photo shoot with his new truck. Is what this is, right?
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Because he's
What's this picture? What is this picture? What are you doing? That's the gayest picture. Go down, you can see the comments.
We should make this
Go
the
down,
screen,
see
the
Go down, see if you can see what are some of the stupid ass.
Sheesh, nice truck. G America. Primo con Raptor, Pero sin Faria Shingon. Saludos.
Keep going down. You just keep going down.
Congrats, XG. See your post. I think he's saying he spent all his money on the car is his joke with the wallet. See your post. I don't
Go
know.
up. Can you find mine or did they hide it?
You posted it a while back. feeling thirsty, and then just.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go through his
What
his
is this coming?
Let's see how much of XG's Instagram is tinfoil hat.
Oh well, you could get me on that same count. Although I don't post to Instagram, to be fair, but I haven't posted.
Everything is scum and kick it, and we don't smoke the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Nothing is tinfoil hat.
Well,
Nothing.
He probably, because he does the tinfoil hat Instagram, he probably thinks, oh well, that's my contribution to
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I love him to pieces. I mean, nobody's won the lottery more than Xavier Guerrero. Congratulations, Xavier Guerrero.
If you're Kamala Harris, do you want this? So Dick Cheney comes out today and says he's voting for Kamala Harris, endorses her. Do you want this? Kamala Harris?
Dude, this is how unself-aware that class is.
You mean Dick Cheney?
Oh, what is this?
These neocons?
Shit. Yeah. These these elites. These,
how has he still? Didn't he have like 8 heart attacks?
Yeah,
how did he survive COVID?
Yeah, but bro, it's like imagine selling that as like a good thing.
Seriously though, I think he had like 5 heart attacks or something. He's had 5 heart attacks.
Yeah. Well, when you're
And
evil,
he
your
survived
heart
COVID.
wants to get out, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. I forget.
Let's see. Here he is with that dipshit King from CNN. Kamala Harris is the best choice for president of the United States.
We need somebody who knows what they're doing in there.
I'm totally a trustworthy guy. Look how I talk out of the side of my mouth.
I wasn't complicit in the murder of 4 million Iraqis. Okay.
No. I told George that was a bad idea, but he did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in charge of the air defense on 9/11. Okay, I didn't run 90 different jet simulations that day.
Explaining why he's decided to do this, John. Let me read a little bit of that statement.
This makes you feel
in our nation's
like, is there any kind of justice in the world that this dude is still alive? Eating well, sleeping well.
Not in the world. After the world to come, yeah, there is justice. I firmly believe that, but not so much in this world. No.
He's 248-year history. There has never been an individual who...
These are Dick Cheney's words being read by, sounds like Wolf Blitzer, maybe.
No, it's that guy.
Oh, is it King?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Than Donald Trump.
No, that's
He tried
Wolf
to
Blitzer.
steal the last election using lies and violence to
By
keep
the
himself
way,
in power
stop.
after the voters...
By
had
the
rejected
way,
him.
this is the guy who got in on a stolen election, right?
Dick Cheney. Yeah, of course he did.
Like,
yeah.
how hilarious is this?
Yeah,
it's just like he thinks we're stupid.
I mean, Roger Stone, we had him on our podcast, and he admitted it. They went down there and took the election. Yeah. Which that was one of the craziest days having Roger. Can you believe we had Roger Stone on?
We had Roger Stone on the show, and our internet sucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they fucked with him. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was like the worst it's ever been.
He can never be trusted with power again. As citizens, we each have a duty to put country above partisanship to defend our Constitution. That is why I will be casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
All you progressive retards are on the side of Darth Vader.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Tinfoil hat.